Hi everyone, it's Amy and the wall, my feathers, and Kieran's chewing a bone, and I just got home from my first shift at the dinner theater, so I'm a little frazzled, but whatever. I'm way behind on making videos. I'm sitting on the floor with him, so if I sound weird or whatever, it's because I'm literally sitting on the floor, and this is on the desk, and I'm sitting on the floor because he likes me to sit with him, and yeah. We just have a few hours together before I go back to the dinner theater for another shift. And yeah, so anyway, I'm way behind. There's a lot that has happened this week, this holiday week, where you think it would just be, no news. But let's face it, we're all addicted to news, breaking news, and 45 never fails to present us with multiple news stories and truths and everything else. So, and not truths, and they're untruths. Now, where do I begin? I mean, that's the problem. Where do I begin? I already said that the Supreme Court will not grant him presidential immunity in January. Why? Because he's not immune. Because if they grant him it, then President Biden could use that to his benefit and cause major chaos, including getting rid of Supreme Court members, adding Democratic Supreme Court members, whatever you call them, putting 45 in jail, just like that. I mean, there's a lot of damage that President Biden could do, and the Supreme Court knows that. They don't want to lose their job just to help 45. However, and I did see that this would probably happen, they will probably delay. They're delaying like 45 delays, waiting for some magical fairy to come and exonerate them or take the burden away, make someone else be the bad guy, right? And 45 himself is like a kid that has a report due at school on Monday, and it's Sunday night eternally to him, and he's just waiting, and Monday's never going to show up. Something's going to happen, and he'll never have to go to school and present a report. So therefore, he's never going to write it, think about it, or anything. Or he'll say he's sick on Monday, and then Tuesday he'll say his grandmother died, like Ferris Bueller's Day Off or whatever. 45 is just delaying the inevitable. He's not going to get this presidential immunity. They are going to have to finally decide, I feel, in January, probably early by January 9th or 20th. And he's not, here's the thing. You've heard that story about Nixon, how he had to be pardoned because he did not have presidential immunity. A president does not have full immunity. If we did that, that makes them a king. We do not have kings in America. We have presidents who serve the people, who are voted in. It's, yeah, he's not going to have it. So I just wanted to say that. And it reminds me of when he was in the courtroom with Engoron, and he had to be on stand for the New York fraud case. And he had 45, had that piece of paper that said, I'm exonerated. This piece of paper says that I'm exonerated from all criminal activity. So basically he was saying, yeah, it's what I did was criminal, but I'm exonerated because this little piece of paper frees me. No. And Engoron's like, put that away. I've seen that. I've already decided the verdict. We're just deciding how much you're going to have to pay for your crimes here, but put that away. You are not exonerated. No one has full immunity from doing crimes. That's not how it works and not how it should work. Again, he's not a king. He's not going to be given full immunity. So I just want to rest that out of everyone's minds, and I rest my case. He will not be given full immunity. If he was, look out. The Supreme Court just made a big mistake, and they gave President Biden full power. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So next thing to talk about, and it's funny that, and I heard this morning, I was listening on my walk with Kieran, I was listening to Michael Cohen talk to someone about the binder thing, and the guy said he had some secret knowledge about the binder, where it is and what happened to it and what was in it, and that he had written an article this week, and the news story would break anytime, like it could break tonight. And he did say that it was about the Russian interference in the 2016 election. For entertainment, I can't say the word, can I? For entertainment purposes only. That's what my guide showed me. But I did have a moment. I remember trying to make a video about that and getting really confused because I was like, Why would he make copies of it? Why wouldn't he just burn it? I mean, if it was a report that said that Russia helped him in 2016, why would he want the world to know that? Why didn't he just burn it? And all I can think of is that, because I think my spirit team was like really fighting with me, like, don't think too hard. He's a narcissist. Don't try to explain why or his reasoning. He just did. He just did this. I think it's because he knows that if he burned it, he would be in worse trouble than if he just whatever. But I don't know. There is no reasoning, is there? You think that he would get rid of it. But it feels like he made copies. And I still, this is what, like I wrote the other day. I'm going to calm myself down. Remember my guides? This is months and months ago. They said close to the chest. Close to the chest. He's always keeping it in his breast pocket. But also they said wife. And I was like, oh, Melania. Okay. And then when I heard this week that Melania is missing, like Christmas, right? He's 45 was in like in a buffet, and God, I know buffets. I work in a buffet setting a lot. It looked funny, didn't it? He was like this old guy, middle-aged, old guy, senior citizen guy, sitting in a buffet and no wife around. Like, where's his family? Where's his wife? Where's Melania? Remember they had that whole thing, whoops, with Hunter. Where's Hunter? Where's Hunter? Well, where's Melania? Well, I think she's in Europe, and I think there's a reason, and I think she may have that information. I could be wrong, because the other wife would be Ivana, and that's the grave thing. But see, I don't think anything's in the grave, not even a casket. You know how they let it overgrow and they don't care about, no one visits it. There's nothing there. I mean, if there are things there, yeah, there could be. I think they should dig it up. I do, just for posterity. But honestly, I don't think there's even a casket in there. I think it's just dirt that they dug up a little and slapped a headstone on, and then her ashes are on Ivanka's mantle. I've always seen that. So, but it could be. It could be. And we have that tunnel from Mar-a-Lago that goes out to the bay, in Florida, and there's the ships, the Russian ships. So it could be. Who knows? But again, the logic is like, why don't you just get rid of it? If you don't want the world to know, and he does not want the world to know about man. Oh. Is he keeping it to have some sort of money grab on Putin, in Russia, the big, jerk face in Russia, so that he can have one over and say, well, I didn't have anything to do with it. He did all of it, and he tried to destroy America, and it could be a bribe. I don't know. That could be. Maybe that's why he's doing it. So then he could have other countries. I don't know. We'll see. Well, let's see what happens. But I do know this. That's what it is. It's the Russian interference in the 2016 election, and that's why he's keeping that binder, and that information means more to him than anything else. So, breaking news. Now, is that going to end it all for 45? No, because I'll tell you why. It's just going to be it's just more information for Jack Smith, the documents case. He hasn't gone to jail yet for anything. This isn't going to put him in jail. He's not going to come up and say, you're right, I'm bad, I'm a bad boy, and I'm sorry, and I will, stop, whatever. No. 45 is a narcissist. He's never going to give in. He's never going to say, it's kind of Clarence Thomas. You know how Clarence Thomas, everybody's like, oh, we got him now. He did this. He took bribes. He interfered. He blah, blah, blah. Insurrection. Oh, he'll step down. No, these people don't. They are insurrectionists. They are rebels. They are Jesse James crew. They are, anti-law, anti-constitution. They're not ever going to give in. 45 is never going to surrender. Never. So It's frustrating. That's why we have these lawsuits, because he could have given in a long time ago and said, yeah, I've been a bad boy. I've been a bad boy. Put me in handcuffs and drag me away. No. No, he's going to fight till the end, as they all are. They're waiting for that last moment, hoping that they can be exonerated by some magical fairy, as I said. Not going to happen. Okay, so there's that. Clear my head. Okay, so, oh, and he just got denied his delay with the E. Jean Carroll case, and he was delaying it so that he could possibly try to delay it to getting his presidential immunity, and therefore he could clear all of that. All crimes cleared. I could do whatever I want. Remember he said it. I could shoot someone up Fifth Avenue. And when you're a star, they let you do it. That's what he thinks. That's not going to change. Never. He's never going to change that mentality. He's that way through, and he's a rapist, criminal through and through for entertainment purposes only. But he doesn't want to have to go to jail for it, or pay his rape victim, or or admit his guilt. He wants to be free to do all that stuff. Yeah. So who is it? Kaplan said, sorry, not delaying this trial. You still have to. I guess they did take $5 million from him in holding. So even though she hasn't gotten it, the thing is, they do have it in holding. And he's going to owe her a lot more. This is like the Giuliani thing. He's going to have to, for defamation, it just got a million times worse. Times a million, times a million, times a million. 35 million. Okay. So, in other trials. Oh, the Supreme Court hasn't decided on this. So, immunity or whatever. So, that delays all the trials. Yay. No, not yay. Because what it did is, now that you've made all these trials delayed till later, now you open up a time frame for Fani Willis to try you. Whoops. That's what just happened. 45, with all his delays, thinking he's going to get out of it. No. It opened up now this window. Fani Willis, hey, the schedule's free. I can have my trial right now in January. I don't know if it'll happen, but I just saw the number 1, so it probably will. She's probably going to do it. And why wouldn't she? That's not going to be good for him. Okay, anything else? We have Lauren Boebert, who says that she's going to go to a district that she doesn't even live in Colorado, because the people there, fresh meat, might vote her back in. No, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And, I wonder if, and I'm probably wrong, but I wonder if she did that I got Bannon. I totally got Bannon. Bannon's like, chess move. You go over to this district and blah, 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 fresh meat, and we'll work on them. We'll do all this propaganda there, and then they'll, we'll scare them and blah, 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 and then they'll vote for you. And we have some donors there that'll help with your campaign. But I wonder if the district that she leaves open now has a space for another insurrectionist far-right person to come in. So then they have 2 type of Lauren Boeberts that they would try to get into Congress. No one's talked about that, but that is a worry of mine, that's what they're trying to do. I mean, it's like chess. They're playing chess here. I hope not. Okay, Kari Lake. Kari Lake has been hit with her own Giuliani-style defamation case, millions of dollars, and there's no way out, because she failed some sort of deadline, just like 45 fails all his deadlines for juries and information and experts that he wants to present are keep from being to display or keep from trials. No, they missed the deadline, so Kari Lake is screwed. This will ruin her, and she now is wishing, well, she's trying to find a way out of it. Appeal. I just heard appeal, so she's going to appeal it, but it's not going to work, and she really is screwed for entertainment purposes only, and it's all her own dang fault. Karma. The next thing, so much news. Yeah, I may not be able to cover all of this. What's the next thing? Santos is gone, but not. I just saw him. He'll be back. So maybe something this week is going to happen with Santos out of the blue. He is not done. There is some revenge with him, and I think we'll be hearing from him this week. Okay, Biden. Biden said something about Russia bombing Ukraine, all the living, like the residential areas Russia's been bombing. Retaliatory because they hit one of Russia's tankers or what have you. Well, you started this war. You know, the difference between Ukraine, what's happening in Ukraine and what's happening in, let's say, Israel or Palestine, is that Ukraine didn't ask for this. They were living peacefully. As far as I know, as far as I've ever heard and read, they weren't messing with Russia. They just wanted to be left alone. Innocent people in their own country. And they were attacked and brutally killed, and still are, and among horrible war crimes by Putin, who could have at any time, including today, say, I'm going to end this war. Never. He's never ended it and continues this horrible war. Ukraine did not deserve this. Now, does Israel deserve what's happening to them? No. Does Palestine deserve what's happening to them? No. But it's the Hamas, and I wish that people would talk about that. I wish Hamas would be held accountable. And I wonder, you know, do you remember when 45, they have that audio tape of 45 with the file about the top secret, it was classified. He said himself, I did not declassify this. Look at this. It was a document about Iran. And you know that Iran and Putin are in on this Hamas thing. And Hillary Clinton said it too, for entertainment purposes only. I've always felt that Trump 45 had something and gave them information. I really feel that. And you could go back to that phone call. I don't know. But what was that document? Did that have anything to do with this? It's not Israel. It's certainly not Jewish people. And I don't blame the innocent Palestinians. It's Hamas. It's Hamas. It's Iran. It's Russia. And it's 45 had something to do, like selling and giving information that he shouldn't have. You know, okay, so here's why. Okay, I'll end it on this. Big topic for the week, right? That Colorado is kind of in between, back and forth of will they keep 45 off the ballot. And while they're doing that, because the GOP there is like contesting it and blah, blah, blah. Now, then Maine said, well, here we go. He broke these rules in the Constitution. He violated the Constitution. So it's clear he cannot be on the ballot. We cannot allow this guy on the ballot, which is really brave and smart. And I think that's what should happen. And now 45 is already sicking his, like the Midas Touch said, he's sending out all his angry mob, what does that sound like, on her and giving out her information. And the Secretary of State in Maine. That's not going to stop her. That's not going to stop this. I see, and Spirit has shown me 5 states, and I do think Colorado will stick. Nevada, Maine, Arizona. It could be even, no, it's not going to be Florida unless DeSantis just is like, F you, 45. That could happen. New York. Here's the thing. California. Okay, California. And Kansas could be in there. Kansas. California. Newsom said, yeah, we don't need to take him off the ballot. Let people vote. Let them eat cake. Why did Newsom do that? Because it's a blue state. And he doesn't need the hassle of lawsuits and appeals and death threats and money lost and time and etc. He doesn't need, and 45 is not even going to campaign in California. He's not going to. So Newsom was like, yeah, just I've saved the trouble. I've got a blue state. I'm not worried about this. He can run. He can be on the ballot. No one's going to vote for him. So whatever. I see that happening, and that's probably what New York's going to do too. But here's the thing. There's is it Joe Walsh on Threads? I don't know. Do I follow him? I don't know how that happened because he's Republican. Let's see. I do try to see all sides. If someone's semi-reasonable, I try to see what the other side is saying. to keep myself in check. And he is like, I think that 45 should be on the ballot in all states. Let people vote. It's un-American to not allow people to vote. But he's an insurrectionist. We can't vote for, there's other people, many, many people who can't be on a ballot. 45, he violated the Constitution. He even said here recently, I didn't take a vow to the Constitution. What? But you were president. How's that? He's trying to exonerate himself from all crime and all responsibility just so he can get out of trouble. But he still wants to be on a ballot. Personally, I feel like instead of being on a ballot, 45 should be facing jail. And how is it that we have someone who has a missing binder connected to Russia that he has not produced, and they're not even talking about it? How is he even allowed on a ballot with that alone? Much less he's a rapist for entertainment purposes only. Kaplan said it for all good purposes. He said that Trump was a rapist. And I think we can agree. Among all the other crimes and financial crimes and Trump U and all these things and the tax fraud and I mean, it just keep going and going. And it doesn't have to just be, how about this? The false electors and not just the insurrection, but it was the whole plan. The false elector thing is, you've heard that, right? Where Chesebro said they tried to have the false electors sent by January 5th to the Capitol by January 5th so that Pence could have them and overthrow all our votes or democracy and make the King 45 the king forever, King George. And because 45 and all his band of misfits, Bannon and Stone and Flynn, the Flintstones and all those people, because he had slowed down the sorting machines in the post office because he didn't want mail-in ballots to be arriving and be counted, because he knew that's where all the Democrats were going to vote, like the Harry Potter letters coming in one by one, millions and millions. He, because he slowed down the post office, his false electors couldn't get through in time. I find that extremely ironic and karmic. And so what did they do? They had to charter a plane and had to hand deliver it. But you see how deliberate, how diabolical and premeditated Jan 6 was, and how deep 45 was in knowing and planning it, including crowds of people sent there on that day. I mean, it was during the pandemic. So did people have money? And you know how hard it was to travel and to have money, and gas prices were kind of high and people were sick and all these things. And all these people magically could get to the Capitol. That's where Ginny Thomas comes in. She helped plan all that. And with their, there was the 3-step program. Okay, I'm going to go through this. I'm going to do the psychic recount of what happened on January 6th. So going back to May 2020, and this is all for entertainment purposes only, but going back to May 2020, the bunker incident, 45 is scared. He knows he's not going to win the election. And he's like, well, I'm going to have to do some pretty dirty business here. So okay, 1, 2, 3. Let's start slowing down the post office, because it's clear the Democrats are going to vote via mail-in ballots because they don't trust me. Because of what happened in 2016, they don't trust me. Slow down the ballots. Get rid of masses of mail-in ballots. Step 2, cripple America. Have chaos everywhere. Use the George Floyd incident to divide America and create cities that are burning. That happened. It's weird. I made a video that summer called The Summer of Love because I wanted people to love each other. And I'm a nobody, but it's weird now that everyone calls that summer the Summer of Love. And I'm a nobody. So I don't know how, but that's because I'm intuitive, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, it was the Summer of Love, but it was the Summer of Chaos. The incident where 45 with the Bible upside down, bar and and then people getting shot with tear gas and all these things. That was to show that he had ultimate power and control over us, and we need to stay home and we need to be compliant. That was Bannon helped plan that. But it was to cripple America, divide America. And okay, so as we got closer to election, what happened? When he saw he was not going to win, it was, I mean, I can't even go at all because I'll get banned off YouTube and things that they said themselves, but if I say it, I'll get in big trouble. But I mean, the ultimate thing was at the end of it, to have, because let's say this, we have the election. He lost. It's announced he lost. All over the world, church bells ringing, ticker tape parades, music, people dancing in the streets, just like I saw would happen. And all the networks, with Giuliani, all the networks. Oh, but I thought we had it all rigged. How's this possible? Yeah, because we counted the actual ballots, because you couldn't stop, just like in Harry Potter, you couldn't stop this from happening. The truth is, Biden won. Biden won. So when that became clear, 45 was like, well, I still ain't leaving. I'm not going to give in until the very, like Jack and Rose on the tip of the Titanic as it goes into the water, hold on to the last second. That's what 45 and his people did and that's what they're still doing with all these trials. Hold on to the last second till I get reelected. He's not going to get reelected. And then we need to have an event. We need to have an event. We need to stop this. How do we stop it? Well, I'm going to call everyone across America. I'm going to call governors and whoever, all over. I'm going to Georgia. What are the big states? I'm going to call them. I'm going to coerce them. I'm going to bully them. I'm going to put peer pressure on them. I'm going to have legal pressure on them. And I'm going to tell them that they need to do what I want or else. Mafia style. That didn't work. It worked for some, but it didn't work for all. And then you get the perfect phone call. And are you still with me? What I'm trying to say is, do you see how far 45 is on the insurrection? It wasn't just the day of, oh, I didn't stop it because I thought the Secret Service and the crowd was going to stop it. No, he was in on it way past January 6th. This is premeditated. Okay? And so it even went down to Proud Boys being in the Oval Office for breakfast and planning, and Ginny Thomas and Mark Meadows and all these people in there, and the Dr. Pepper lady and Giuliani, and planning on how to do this. Planning on how, if Pence didn't take these false electors and overturn the election, then have an insurrection. And 45 did indeed ask about the Insurrection Act. He asked. Isn't that what the military guy said? I can't remember his name right now. 45 wasn't just part of the insurrection. He didn't just plan the insurrection. He was the insurrection. So I really think that when states are asking, should we have him on the ballot? No. And it's not about democracy, because guess what? Guess what that was on Jan 6th? That was us voting. That was him overturning our votes, stealing our votes, denying us our democracy, our votes, our voice. We already tried a vote for him. Oh, just vote and we'll see what happens. Yeah, we did. And we saw what happened. We can't have him on ballots. Yes, many states, most states, or he's still going to be on there if he even gets to really run at the end. I don't know if he's going to get to. But I do think enough will take him off, because he did break the rules of the Constitution that he vowed to follow, and that makes him a traitor. And he's not just an insurrectionist, he is the insurrection. And yes, he'll do it again. And the last thing was, if Pence didn't do what he wanted that day, the false electors didn't come in, then get rid of Pence. Delay the count. When Pence didn't do what he wanted, delay the count. That's Cruz. Go in the back room and talk about this. Send in the crowd, and I'll go there with you. And then, when the crowd's in there, guess what the crowd was doing? Chaos, 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 destruction, fire, windows broken, and little micey subparticles going back to get the false electors. So there was a plan. There was a big plan. And thank God it didn't work. Well, really, thank God. You know, the divine made sure it didn't work. So yeah, he cannot be on the ballot. He shouldn't be on the ballot. We shouldn't give him another chance. He had his chance, and he showed that he does not value our votes, does not value the Constitution. He should not be on ballots. There is no, I think it's actually un-American to say that we should have him on the ballots. Don't we deserve better candidates? Anyway, I will end it here. I can't think, you know, my brain's like, oh, what else? That's it. I think that must be it, because I do feel the energy leaving me now. So thanks for listening, you guys. I love you, and take care, and Happy New Year. If I don't, I might be on with Jamie tomorrow. So, but for now, Happy New Year. Bye.